You probably know that snowflakes come in all different shapes and sizes, right? But do you know why certain parts of a winter storm have large snowflakes and certain parts have smaller snowflakes? To answer that question, we have to look at what's called the dendritic snowfall growth zone. That's the area in the atmosphere where the temperature is minus 15 degrees Celsius or 5 degrees Fahrenheit. That's where your largest dendrites or snowflakes are going to develop. These large snowflakes have a lot of space in them that allows them to pile up through time. Last night, when the storm began in southern West Virginia, we had a low pressure coming in from the west. And here's our train of moisture from this low pressure across the Midwest. So we had lift or air rising in the atmosphere. We also had a lot of moisture in what's called the dendritic snowfall growth zone, that area where the temperature is minus 15 degrees Celsius. So those large snowflakes began the storm. Now, as we look here on this Friday afternoon, the snowflakes are much smaller in size. The reason for that, the low pressure has passed to our east, so we're losing a little bit of that lift. We still have a little bit of moisture, and we still have the cold air in place, but because of that lift moving east, we have smaller snowflakes going forward through the remainder of the storm. Now, one exception to snowflake size is elevation. Even though the low pressure has moved to our east, if you live above 3,000 feet, you're probably saying, hey, I still have some large flakes. That's because the air rising up over that terrain helps compensate for the large synoptic feature being to our east, so you still see large snowflakes through most of the duration of the winter storm. So this cross profile is one of the tools meteorologists use to forecast snow. And this was showing a cross-section of the atmosphere. Last night when the storm began, we had large snowflakes. You can see there's the surface up to 15,000 feet in the atmosphere. What I've highlighted is different parts. First of all, the red lines are where you have the maximum lift or air rising throughout the atmosphere. And then that contoured, shaded bound white area is the dendritic snow growth zone. That's where you're going to get your large snowflake production. And notice we have a lot of lift in that dendritic snowfall growth zone. And then you have the humidity contours. The darker blues indicate where you have the most moisture. So we have a decent amount of moisture in the dendritic snowfall growth zone. So that's why we started the storm with large snowflakes, but then we've transitioned to smaller snowflakes. So going forward, the accumulation rates won't be as high as they were last night, but overall a great storm here in southern West Virginia. Chief Meteorologist Chad Merrill for Newswatch.